On your driving test, the examiner needs to see that you can place your car safely and confidently wherever the examiner tells you. This is going to include when they ask you to pull over on the left at least 3 times. They're going to ask you to turn right, they're going to ask you to use stop signs, and you're going to have to go past parked cars. And they're all much, much harder when you are guessing and praying. These reference points I am going to show you are going to make your driving test so much easier. So for each reference point, first I will show you the problem, and then we'll look at the real POV example of how to use the reference point in real life. So the first one, pulling over on the left, and this is a massive one because you are going to be expected to do this at least 3 times on your driving test. So from my view, I am using that part of the car to line up with that curb. So you see the blue line right there? That is lining up sweet with the curb. Now you can easily set that up yourself. Just get someone to pull over by the curb for you in your car and stick a sticker on where the curb sits. The other thing you can do is, often in lots of cars, the big chunky bit of your window wiper will also, is a great marker for the curb. Unfortunately in my car you can't see that very well. Now here we go, we're driving down the road and the examiner asked me to pull over on the left. So check my mirrors, pop my signal, and all I'm doing now is I'm looking at that mark right there, and I'm lining up so it sits right on the edge of the curb. And then I'm just stopping. I'm barely turning the wheel either. That way I'm gonna get an absolutely beautiful positioning next to the curb without being too close and without being too far. Now the big secret with this one is to not stare at the curb. The second you stare at the curb, it makes you just want to drive into the curb. Instead, use your mark, driving down the road, checking your mirrors, pop your signal on, and then you just start edging ever so slightly towards the curb until your blue mark, until your mark or your chunky bit is sitting directly on the curb. And then you just gently bring the car to a smooth stop. Then you open your door and look at that, beautiful. As long as it's within half a meter of the curb, you are going to be a-okay. As they say, the proof is in the pudding. We are good, baby. The biggest mistake people make when pulling over is they stare at the curb because they're scared of hitting the curb, which normally makes them go towards the curb. Next one, the turning right reference point. Let's have a look. The big problem people often run into when they're learning to drive with turning right is they either turn too early and they cut the corner and they risk someone going into the back of them, or they turn too late. They haven't looked at the turning point. Instead, they stare at the danger again, which makes them actually drive past the junction. Then they have to try and swan neck it back in and end up on the other side of the road. But have a look at this. This is going to stop you doing that ever again. Next reference point we're going to be looking at is the right turn. So when we're turning right, we have to try and turn at the turning point. Now the problem is a lot of people end up stopping too early, which cars aren't expected behind them, or they end up stopping too late, and then they do what's called a swan neck, and they have to turn back on themselves to then carry on down here, which ends up swinging onto the wrong side of the road. Not an ideal situation. So I'm going to show you how we avoid that. Right, here we go. We've got the right lane coming up. There's oncoming cars, so I'm going to need to stop. So I line up the corner of my mirror. You see that sharp bit there? So as you can see here, if you just line up the corner of your mirror, the very edge with the central white line, that is the perfect stopping point when turning right, waiting for oncoming traffic. We just line that up with the white line, and that's where the turning point is to stop. And if you're watching this video and you're getting yourself ready for your driving test, it's happening and you've got access to your own car, have a look at my app, Driving Test Expert. It's going to give you a damn good idea if you're actually ready for your driving test, because if you can follow a sat-nav using one of those routes, any test centre in the country, that is a good shot that it's time to go, baby. Also, a free route on there, so get stuck in. Now this one is a nightmare for everyone, is passing parked cars. Even the most experienced drivers still occasionally smack their mirrors off parked cars because they're not using this reference point. Let's have a look. Now the beauty with reference points is there's normally a one size fits all. So we've still got our blue mark here, we know that's our curb line. We can also use it for parked cars. So as we're going here, if we come out nice and early and just line up that line, short distance from the parked car, we know that we're not going to hit that parked car. It's a great reference point. Don't look at the parked car, look at your reference point. If you look at the danger, you're more likely to go towards the danger. So if you're on a tight road and you're panicking, that's the reference point you want. As long as that doesn't go into the tyre, you are a-okay. Now, ideal world, when we're going past parked cars, we want to keep that door's width, and you shouldn't hopefully need the camera for that door's width. But sometimes, particularly if you're in places like London or on a tight, narrow road, that's not always possible. So we have to get a little bit closer, and we don't want to end up hitting the parked car. So that's when this reference point is really useful. So I'm looking at my blue line. I'm aiming just to keep a small gap from the parked cars. Whatever happens, I'm not going to go into the parked car. Now, I'm using my line here just to be a short distance, and let's see where it shows us to be. That's the line we've got with the parked cars from that reference point. So provided you're going at a nice, slow, steady speed, you should be absolutely fine. Just got to make sure that none of those cars are sticking out, otherwise you're going to be in a sticky situation. The biggest advice I can give with the parked cars is don't stare at the oncoming cars. If you're going to look at anything, any particular side apart from your reference point, keep an eye on the parked cars, because they're the ones that will not dodge you. The oncoming cars will always dodge you. And the often underestimated pulling up on the right sounds easy, can be easy, but we forget the second part, which is the examiner's going to ask us to reverse the car back. So really important part of it is we need to make sure our car is straight. Why is it so important? Because it's one of the 4 maneuvers on the driving test, so it is a must-know situation. The other thing that people severely underestimate on the driving test is the pullover on the right. Again, have yourself a reference point, check your mirrors, and gently pull across the road, straightening up and lining your mark up with that curb. Now, the aim in this situation isn't to get as close as you possibly can to the curb, because straight after this, the examiner is going to ask you to reverse the car back, and if you are really, really close to the curb, guess what's going to happen? You're going to hit the curb. So instead, we want to leave a small gap between the curb and your car. So with that marker there, let's have a quick look. Beautiful. That's within approximately ½ a meter, which is going to be perfectly fine for reversing back. And guess what? I'm going to have loads of space to wiggle my car left and right as needed. Now, this is one of my favorite reference points. It's how do you know how far you can get away with going to a give way line or a stop line or a forward bay park? And I'm going to show you right now. When we're learning to drive, we end up either going too far over the line or stopping miles too early. And it's because we don't know what the safe distance is to stop. Really particularly hard on a stop sign or somewhere where it's really closed, you can't see left and right. This is just one of those junctions. So we're going to be turning right. So we really need to stop as far forward as we can so we can see. And there we go. If we look at that small gap there between the white line and the mirror, and we can look on this side and there's just a small gap there between the white line and the mirror, that means that we aren't going to be sticking out into the road. There we go. Tractor went past with no issue. Then hopefully if we lean forward, we can see. Even here I'm having to creep forward slightly, but at least you've got a better, safer view. And that can be used everywhere, including forward bay parking. It's fantastic to see how far forward you are in the bay to make sure you don't go over the white line. And again, just positioning for turning right, we need to be nice and square, and we're aiming for our mirrors to just be sitting on top of the white line, hugging the right side because we're turning right. And then we're just looking at both our mirrors, sit on the white line, slightly more forward, and look at that. Perfect. Now let's have a look at what that looks like from the outside. And there we have it. Not even close to the end. We could still go forward a little bit more. One more time. Just rolling to the line. Sit the mirrors on top of those white lines on both sides. Looking both ways. Creep forward if you need to, because the important thing is you have to be able to see. And then off you go. If you use this reference point every time, it's going to make your junction look planned, not panicky. It's going to stop you panicking about the oncoming cars as well. Have a go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Does this help? And the next one is staying in the center of our lane. Now, when we're driving down the road, the most important place we can look, and I hope you're saying it, I hope you're saying it out loud right now, it might pop up. Most important place you can look is the furthest point down the road. That way our hands will always follow our eyes. If we're looking right down the road, our hands should go down there. However, sometimes when we're learning to drive, we need a little bit of extra support with our steering. So there's a few options you can have. The first one is the top of the steering wheel. If you put a bit of tape at the top, Keep an eye on that occasionally, but it only works when you're on a straight road. Keep the tape in the center of the road on the dirty patch. That should keep your car nice and central in your lane. The other one that's very effective that I like using is keeping my left leg positioned in the center of the road, but your left leg has to be kept straight. As we're looking ahead, if we just imagine our left leg's in the middle of the road, our car will stay in the center of the road. Doing 60 miles an hour almost, here we go, building it up, 60 miles per hour. Now it's important we keep that positioning nice and center. So my left leg is central in the road and my sticker is staying constantly, keeping that in the middle of the road. Now the idea isn't to stare at your sticker, because we should always be looking where? At the furthest point down the road. Always, always, always. However, it's great just as a little jogging point, jogging memory. You know, when you're nice and straight like this, oh, is my sticker in the middle? Yes or no. And you can literally line it up with this dirty patch in the center of the road where no wheels go. If it's on there, you're A-okay. It's also going to give you a nice reference point of how much to turn the wheel when you're going around a bend. As you can see, I'm going, look how sharp this bend is, and look how much I actually turn the wheel to get around the bend. I'm almost just keeping this in line with the edge of the curb. And again, really sharp bend. It's no more than it's an eighth of a turn. Now, if you are like me and your test centres have rural routes that they're going to expect you to go on, then you're going to need to know how to drive on country roads. And you might need to go on country roads anyway, so it's quite important. The same with all of the other reference points. The key is to not look at the danger. Now, lots of country roads will be wide enough for two cars, but it's very, very tight, guys, and there won't be any central white lines. Now, this road isn't one of those, but the principle is the same. As we go down the country road, we want to be using our reference point on the edge of the road. Now, if I use the blue on the very edge, if I line that up with the grass, I know that I'm not going to go into the hedge, into the potholes, into the bush, whatever's there. I'm also maximizing the space on this side of the car to allow whatever is there to go past, which is key, because they are also going to be doing the same, maximizing space to make sure I have enough room on my side of the road. So here's an example. I've stopped because I'm just looking at that, so I didn't need to panic, I didn't need to change anything. All I have to do is gently come to a stop, let that person through who is also trying to maximize their space. The big problem that people make, the downer, is they look at the danger. Your eyes want you to stare at the danger, and you have to train your brain to not look at the danger. Now, the point of these reference points aren't that the examiner's going to care about them at all, because they really don't, but nor do they care that you do use them. Everything that you have in that car or part of that car is a tool. Automatic parking brake, it's a tool. If you have the tool, you are welcome to use it if it's going to improve your driving. And reference points will massively improve your driving. They're going to make you feel calmer, they're going to make you look calmer, and then you're going to look in control and you're going to feel in control, and you're going to pass your driving test. Let me know in the comments what you think of the video. I wish you all the best. And have a look at my test routes app. There's one free. Good luck, everyone. Bye.